Greetings everyone and welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. Now this is a separate edition. This is the Town Tour Mark II. We're up here at the moment where the sheep are and where the travellers in are. I thought we'd start up here and then go down to the main town afterwards. So we've got 10 folds up here, pretty much full. They are still producing lambs, as you can see, because I do tend to sell the adults after a certain amount of time, so we keep a regular breeding stock coming through, and it also provides us with a really nice income each year. Now we don't have any housing up here for the animal breeders at the moment, so that's something I want to do at another point. And we're just going to ride down here to the Travellers Inn. My horsemanship skills aren't particularly renowned, so up here this is basically just a Travellers Inn between towns where people could stop off overnight if they on a long journey. We've got a couple of the basic houses just for people to stay in. We've got a kitchen up here, obviously to cook food. We've got a stable up here which we do use at the moment. It's got one of our black horses in, and he's doing what the horses like to do for some reason. We've also got a smithy up here. Obviously if people are staying and bringing their own horses, they're going to want somewhere to get the shoes on the horses replaced possibly. We've got our tavern worker in here, not that he gets many customers. And the reason for building here was twofold. One for the views along the river there, which we can't really see today because it's misty. And the other reason was, if you're building on a slope, you can actually take advantage of the terrain and put something underneath. If you build it on flat land, obviously the building goes down pretty much to ground level, but build it on a slope like this and it puts it up on stilts. So I've fenced off all the way round, and underneath we have our own little sheltered campfire, which does work. And obviously in the evening the torches will come on. We've got a few torches in here. We've also got a cheese and wine table there. Now the only way you can do this is when you place the footprint of the building down, before you actually build the base, you have to come underneath and put down anything you want to do. You can't add anything later on, unfortunately. So if there was a flatter bit here, you could even put a couple of tables in and put down what looks like a sort of makeshift bed if you wanted to, or a few benches together to make it with some fur or something like that on it. Yeah, so that's our Travellers Inn section. Where did we leave the horse? Right, and then I'll meet you up, meet up with you down at the main town. Okay, so here we are approaching the town. We have gates, which unfortunately we can't. At most places on the road you can't get them together. There are a couple of places you can do it. And right, let's go up to this is our unfinished watchtower, or unfinished windmill that we use as a watchtower. Just leave a couple of the walls blank, doesn't put all the machinery in then, and then you can put a couple of spears in, slot some planks down in between, and you've got some sort of half walls that you could crouch behind if the enemy was firing at you. You've got great views down the river there. Obviously we've got views on the river and the road there, and you've also got views out the side there if somebody's coming up to the gates. That window you can't do anything with, unfortunately. And then we've got 5 gates at various parts of the city. So each one has its own little guardhouse here. It's just an excavation shed, a few tools and things in it, a couple of sitting stumps and a campfire, basket of wood for them for the campfire. Let's go and have a look at our horses next. Right, now this is where I used to have the sheep, and I had 20 folds in here, literally all the way down there and all the way up here. I had 240 sheep, but I had to move them up to their current location because when all the sheep and all the workers are moving about, you get really bad slowdown, and I have got a fairly decent PC. We do breed, obviously, the youngsters. We're trying to breed as many of the black horses as possible. We are having a little bit of success. This one here is our 5th that we've managed to breed. Most of them have been males, so unfortunately we've only had one black female so far. There's also a smithy down at the end here. Actually, we'll go down this way. Basically just for them to be able to put new shoes on the horses when necessary. Got a table here with some saddlebags and saddles and things on it. And then over here we have our fields that go all the way down there. And we've also got our pigs and our geese. The builder's not been working yet. Some of the buildings still haven't been done. That's one of our barns. We've got 2 here and the other one's there. This is one of our food storage buildings. Got 2 of those, and this is just a wagon that I made up. It's just some hoe. Oh, one of the wheels has fallen off it. I'll have to come and fix. Oh, one of the bits of wood has fallen off as well. I'll have to fix that at a later date. So yeah, it would be nice if we had ploughs in the game rather than having to use hand tools all the time. Got a couple more fields here, just various crops. We've got our well. This is the main market area around here, and I built my own wagon. We can't have the wagoner in the game, and one of the spears has come out of there. It's supposed to be the sort of like the harness for the wagon. So that's just really a couple of the basic stick fences like this one. Wheels propped up against the side, put some planks through, stand some planks up, put a wicker crate in there, and you have a fairly good representation of a wagon. We've got 2 apiaries over here. This is the actual stable where we keep most of the black horses. This is where our horse Sleepy lives, and this is Porky and Bess, who are 2 that we've bred, male and female. So hopefully they're going to give us some offspring. Let's cool the horse down. This is a parking area for tethering up horses, although we are the only person currently. You're going to go in there, are you? Okay. We're the only people that can ride horses, which is a bit disappointing. And this is our graveyard. We've got a couple of graves there with headstones and flowers. This is the mausoleum, the family mausoleum, which is where Rasimir and I think 2 generations after him are buried, because we're now on the 4th generation. I've got a tree growing there because I had to redesign it. This is our church, which is just the... Is it the medium? It's the big house. The biggest of the 3 houses, but unfinished. As again, it's got no door on it. And it's got a bit of wall missing there, which I'll explain in a minute. We've got pews for them to sit on with little cushions. Got a collection plate. We've got a few candles on the walls, and an altar with a crucifix. And then if we go out here, we can go up into our bell tower, which unfortunately only has a wicker bell at the moment, which isn't particularly loud, obviously, but that's all we can do up here at the moment. Again, I'll put a couple planks in just to stop people running off the edge. What else we got here? That's pretty much it for this bit. Right, so yes, we've got our apiaries there. Yeah, this is the main market area. We've got 21 market stalls in total. This is just a flower stall that I made up myself. Doesn't have anybody working there because they tend to knock the flower baskets over. This is our main food and resource storage area. And then out the back here we've got our chicken run. And we also have fishing hut, which doesn't have anybody working in it. We don't use it. Got a couple of unfinished fishing hut bases to make a dock with some planks just crossing the gap between them because you can't get them 100% close to each other, and this is just waiting to be transported down the river when we get somebody that can sail the boat, the raft. That's just fishing nets with logs across them and then planks across the top. We've got a couple of wooden shovels as oars, a pickaxe as an anchor, and I think that's a scythe as like a rudder. Right, where's the horse now? Oh, you're going. Horses are so slow at the moment for some reason in the game. Over here, if we go through this bit, this is our production area. So we've got the builder's hut down the end here with all these materials that he's likely to need. We've got our workshop, which hasn't been finished yet, although there is people working in it, but there's a few things I still want to do to it. Our herbalist hut. Now, as you can see, we've got lanterns in here as well. Again, this is something you need to do when you put the base down, because you can get the lanterns to come really well into the building. The ones on this side haven't been done yet, but all the ones on this side have. So we've got lanterns in the smithy as well. Yeah, 2 there. We've got 2 smithies. We've got 2 kitchens here. Again, they've got lanterns in on that side. This one hasn't been done yet. And then we've got our sewing huts. We've got 3 of them all together. This one, again, hasn't been done. This one has been. I'll try and come back down here later on. And we've got people floating again. So this one's got 3 lights in it, 1 for each of the workstations. Over here we've got our hunting lodges. And this one's got lanterns in it. Again, hunters seem to spend a lot of their time stood around doing pretty much nothing. Got a couple of wood sheds here. Another sewing hut over the back there. Another guardhouse here. We've got 5 gates, so 5 guardhouses. And let's go over and have a look at the housing area. I did manage to put in a basic sort of bridge covered entrance way. Again, it's just 2 log walls with the logs dropped on the top. I've got a little seating area there and some more market stalls. We only have now pear trees because they are the biggest of the trees that you can actually grow in the game. And yeah, we've got another little covered bit this end of the bridge. Can't get it both sides the same, unfortunately. Okay, let's start down here at our tavern with our beer garden. There's a little place there for people to tie up their horses when they come and visit the tavern. Yeah, a little bit of a beer garden. We'll get off now. Just a few decorations on the table. Campfire for those cold winter evenings. I did build a little bit of a porch here as well. And then we got our house, which is the manor house, I like to call it. We've got some canopies over the windows, which is just a couple of spears with planks laid on. And we also have our moose skull up there. That was pretty difficult to do. Had to get up inside the attic, which took quite a while. Get some spears thrown through to come out so you can sit the moose skull. And we've got some more canopies here over the windows and the doors. This is our bathhouse. Got a little seat in it, so the wife will sometimes come in here and sit down, makes it look like she's using it. Fireplace, bucket of water to be heated up before you put it in the bath. Got some bath salts, some towels, some smellies, some fur down on the floor so your feet don't get dirty. And then round here we've got our composting toilet with a basket full of wipes. Inside the house, I haven't done it well. I've done quite a bit. We have a wooden floor. I didn't like the way that you could only put down rugs, fur rugs in certain places. So I thought, sod it, we'll put planks down. I had to go for this design. It's probably the easiest to lay most of them out in. As you can see, I've still got to finish off that corner. But it enables us to have that run of planks all the way across the centre. Every other design either puts something like a bed there or the storage chest, but I found that this was the best layout. We have like two sections, the parents section over here, children's beds over here, and a blank bit in the middle. Obviously all the decorations on the roof, a few lights, and put some lanterns through the walls again here. Right, now we've got our theatre. Currently there's no play in production, which is why we've got nothing on the stage, but I have had a few suggestions to make it look like it's a part of an actual stage thing. There's a snack stall here should they feel hungry while they're watching a show, and plenty of seating for everybody. And round the back here we have our dressing area for the actors and actresses, some costume bits and pieces. This is the sort of village bathhouse. It's a bit more compact, but still has most of the features of our bathhouse. And here we have our toilets. So there's the buckets tend to move. You can put the bucket down and put a stool on top of it, but as soon as people come in they start kicking it and the bucket works its way out, so I've had to leave it like that. Somewhere for them to wash their hands afterwards. We have got two of those. Oh good, and sorry young man. So now we can go and see what the house looks like with all its lights in it. So we've got a little bit of a dark spot there, but I'm not too worried about that. Even when it's night time, there's still plenty of light in here with all those extra lights through the walls. And over here we then come into our main housing area. It's a small market area here, simply because I needed some extra market stalls. Didn't have any space the other side without knocking the palisade down and completely rebuilding it. Another guardhouse up here. Most of the housing is the smallest house. I started off with the bigger houses, but the problem was that they were taking up too much space, I felt, and looked too cramped. We've got our village stocks here, the naughty step, where people will come and sit when they've been bad, and there's some old vegetables and rot there to throw at them, like you do. Most of the houses along the river here, the ones that back directly onto the river, have their own little seating area as well, with a little canopy and a campfire, just so they can sit here in the evening. It tend to be the older people I put in the houses along here, so the retired people, I try and retire people when they're 60, assuming I've got enough villagers to do the jobs still. So they can come and sit down here during the day and enjoy the river views. So yeah, most of the houses have got them. And I've got a couple of houses still to downgrade to these smaller sizes. So that's like the main street of the housing area. And up here we've got more houses. This house and that one down there still need to be downgraded. Got another little seating area here. Another guardhouse down there. Again, this is all housing. And the reason for going with this plan is by having all the houses one side of the river here, all the farming here, and all the production buildings here, is that when they're going to work in the morning, you haven't got people trying to go against each other in the flow of pedestrian traffic. So in the mornings, everybody comes over from here, heads over the bridge, and then obviously go on round to there if they're production workers, and then in the evening they all come back again. So it's actually, if we can get down there and have a look if there's still people coming across. No, most of them have come across now already. Okay, so let's go up to the mine. Okay, so this is our mining area, the main mining area, and where we have our resource storages. I didn't want loads of huge buildings in the town, so I'd already put a couple of houses up here when I first started the mine, just so the miners didn't have to walk all the way from the town up here. But I've now just added the resource storage building, so we've got plenty of storage spaces in the town. It's pretty bare up here, but then we don't often come up here, so that's why I haven't got round to decorating it too much. Right, so I thought we'd just come back over here and see what these buildings are like. Obviously the lights come on automatically, so if you're coming over here at night time to make anything, you've got plenty of light. You don't have to worry about messing about with torches and things. All the workstations have got their bits and pieces, and obviously I've still got to do the buildings that I said I've got to do. And I'll just pop back over to the resource storage. That was one of the first buildings that I did, actually, once I found out that you could do that. We've only got 2 lanterns in here, but it just brightens the place up a little bit. Again, doesn't mean it's too dark when you're coming over here. Haven't done that one. Haven't done the barns. The stables have got lanterns in as well. So they have one in the main stable area, and then there's one in the storage area. So it just lightens the place up a bit. And I can't think of anything else. So if you enjoyed that, please leave a like. If you didn't, by all means leave a dislike. And if you don't subscribe to the channel, we'd love to have you join us. Stay tuned for further updates. Bye now.